The new Nintendo Switch is here. I mean, it looks better, it's faster, and got new games coming, but there's one big issue, and everyone wants to know, is this a real step up, or is this just an old Switch, but a little bit better? Hello, my name is Peter, and I talk about everything gaming, so make sure you guys like and subscribe. So the new Switch has 256 gigabytes of space inside. I mean, that's a lot. That's more than the first Switch. It sounds good, right? But think about this. Some of the biggest new games take a ton of space. One game might be 73 gigs, another 62, and even a really popular game like Cyberpunk is almost 60 gigabytes of storage. So just a few games and 5 games down, you already filled up the entire system. And even Nintendo's own fun games take up space. Mario Kart is almost 24 gigs. Donkey Kong is 10 gigs. Like, it's not enough storage. Plus, the system itself needs some space to work, so you have even less room for your games. So how does Nintendo fix this? Well, as you know, they have some new special memory cards called a micro SD Express. Now, there's a lot of drama with these cards. These apparently make the games load faster. I mean, that's good, but there are a couple of things to know. They cost a lot more. These new fast cards are much more expensive than regular memory cards you might already have. So a 256 gig card can cost around $60. Old cards don't work for games. Your old memory cards for the Switch, yeah, you can't use them. You can, yeah, it kind of sucks. So the new Switch is not for basically saving money. So if you want to download lots of games, you have to buy these new, more expensive cards, basically. So let's talk about how much the Nintendo Switch costs. Just the basic system is $450, and if you get the bundle, it will be closer to $500. And not to mention like all the taxes and all the other stuff that you end up getting, the Joy-Cons, everything. It's going to be expensive. But just one of those memory cards, that could be, the Express ones could be even $150 depending on the size you get, right? Because you're going to want a big size memory card. So if you like to download lots of games, the new Switch can actually become pretty expensive. So is it really worth that much money? Well, let's figure that out. When you're playing on the go, battery life is also a big factor. Okay, it's really important. In the new Switch, the battery might not be as good as some hope. Nintendo says it'll last between 2 and 6.5 hours depending on what you're playing, and let's compare that to the first Switch, which lasted about the same at 2.5 to 6.5 hours. But the Switch OLED model lasted longer, 4.5 to 9 hours. So if you play a lot when you're out, the battery life on the new Switch might be a bit disappointing. I mean, everyone is also going to miss that OLED screen. The new Switch is more powerful, so games will look better, especially on your TV. It can even show games in 4K, which we saw with, IGN showcasing the Switch. It looked, some say the colors looked a lot better when you're holding it, and the screen looked a little bit sharper. But, playing your old Switch game isn't always perfect. Some old games might have problems. Most of your old Switch games will work, but some might not look as good or might have issues. Like physical games might need downloads. Even if you buy a game on a cartridge, that little card, you might still have to download the whole game because the card isn't big enough. So playing your old games might not always be as easy as you think. Now, playing games with friends online is a big part of gaming. The new Switch wants to make this better. I mean, we saw with the Discord calls, talking to friends while you play, even though it looked, I'm not gonna lie, if you saw it looked really laggy. But in the past, Nintendo Switch Online service wasn't always great. Problems connecting. Like, people were saying that they couldn't connect to online games. You got super laggy features. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have all the good things that other game systems have, but it works. So if you love playing games online, there are still some questions about how good the Nintendo Switch would be, but let me know what you think. Are you actually going to get the Nintendo Switch, or are you going to keep the one that you already have?